Today is October 11th, 2012, here in Aspen, Colorado, on a little bike ride, enjoying one of the last days of Indian summer. It's supposed to get a big snowstorm this weekend. This is the old Meralt Holden Ranching and Mining Museum. There's an old, these are like real and they've been restored. That's been restored. Sawmill. This used to be like a place where they smelted silver back in the 1800s, and then in the 20s it became a ranch. Then it was sold to the city of Aspen for I think $41. It was 40 acres. The family didn't want to pay the taxes anymore on it. I'm looking up on the hillside at that monster home that's being built. That's the old Hefner 10-acre, they call it the Hefner subdivision, because Hefner bought it back in his heyday. I had somebody that was a realtor here in town that sold it to him. He told me showed up with a suitcase with $100,000 in it. It just sold for $10 million, by the way. And looks like somebody's spending another 30 to build a house. But yeah, 100 grand in 77 for 10 acres on the side of Aspen Mountain. Here's some old mining relics. They used to have gondola cars that came down off the mountain, so they almost look like the modern, the modern bull, the bull wheel, or modern pulleys. I guess they call them shift wheels. But they would carry ore down off of Aspen Mountain and bring it to this smelter to smelt. There's some of the ore cars they also used. They were like spring-loaded, kind of for brakes. Hey, how's it going? So here's more of the museum. That's some agriculture too. So back at the silver was demonetized in 1890 and the smelter went broke, or 1893. Then it became ranching. People just bought it for a nickel an acre or whatnot. So there's a lot of old ranching stuff still here. Yeah, the trees are still real nice. Must have been nice to be here back in they called it the quiet years. Aspen went from like 12,000 people down to 200 people because of the Sherman Act that repealed silver as backing our money. They went to the gold standard, and nowadays it's backed by nothing. It's just backed by the goodwill of the United States. And with the push of a button on a computer, they can print more money and make it even worth less. Yeah, just beautiful. Now I'm looking for this trail that cuts through here. Here it is. I was gonna maybe ride up Buttermilk. So this was all part of that ranch. I think when I read the price on it was like $41.14 that the city took it. I think they got it in back taxes. Like they just took it because the family didn't pay for this any longer. The Roaring Fork Valley here was like a big a lot of potato farmers and cattle ranchers, and still down valley where I was yesterday, there's still a lot of cattle and ranches. It's real nice. But look at all this land. We got it for a song and a dance. It'd be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars now, but it's protected and preserved forever. This is a landing zone for the paragliders that jump off of they jump off of Aspen Mountain there, and then they fly, like jump way off and they fly over there, There's another flag they use up there for the wind direction, and then they land down in here in paragliders. That was a friend of mine that I ran into a few minutes ago. He's one of the best ski instructors in Aspen. He rode up to Ashcroft on his road bike, which is a ghost town, 11 miles back that way. Let me find the single track. Oh, here it is. I don't have a road bike. I'm kind of partial towards mountain biking, and yesterday I climbed up an old... Whoa. Damn, good thing I clicked out right away. That'll get your heart going. That's tough on a 47-year-old. Anyways, I rode up a ghost ski area and then rode down. Unfortunately, I'd never ridden down that. The single track that I picked was just gnarly, just steep, and pretty much unrideable in places. Hey buddy, where's your ball? Hi. There's a nice pond right here. The labs love to swim in. When I had a lab, I used to bring her out here years ago. Back in the 90s, late 80s. Supposed to get, it says mountains due for ample snowfall tomorrow and Saturday. We'll probably have a little more Indian summer. We don't make snow here typically till Halloween. And the earliest we've ever opened here is November 4th. And that year we actually skied until June, the summer solstice that year on the weekends. We're scheduled to open November 22nd. We're at 8,000 feet here, so other ski areas like Arapahoe Basin and Loveland are at 10,500 feet at the base. So they're already making snow. They should be open any day now. That's the roundabout. I remember when they put that thing in 20 years ago or whenever, and nobody knew how to drive it. Everybody just got to it and stopped. Like, what do I do now? Works out pretty good. There used to be 2 traffic lights there. One went up Castle Creek and the other up this Maroon Creek. And this makes it a lot easier. This is the Moore open space. This is 80 acres that the Moore family that owned all the land over on this side donated, and probably around the same time when people were hungry and they didn't want to pay the property taxes anymore. They just gave it back to the city. Our gang. Whew. This doesn't look too, this part of their ranch didn't look too good for cattle. Probably what they did is they just ran cattle on this section. Ooh. There's Aspen Highlands and Buttermilk. Usually I ride right up Buttermilk there. But it's getting late and there's going to be a good vice presidential debate on TV tonight. Should be fun. Probably 65 degrees out here. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. torn through these tires. That's why I slid out back there earlier. I was clipped in and almost went over. Got out just in time. Now there's Pyramid Peak. I don't know if you can see it on the camera view, but it's covered in snow. 14,000 foot peak. It's a pyramid. Looks just like a pyramid. That ridge in the distance, that's one of our new rides. Open space that we purchased as a community. You ride right along that ridge all the way to Snowmass Village. A lot of good mountain biking here. Mountain biking was invented in like Marin County in California and Creston Butte, Colorado, which is 18 miles that way over the mountains. And back in the mid-70s, and I still think a group of people do it, they go from Creston Butte to Aspen. And their bikes were called clunkers. And what they did was they just took old bike frames and like beefed them up with fat tires and you know, other, they probably weighed 50 pounds a piece. And so I've seen some old YouTube video of Creston Butte to Aspen, and like all these hippie looking dudes with no helmets, no bike clothes, just coming over, you know, 12,000 foot passes. I did it once back in the early 90s, 5.5 hours from here with some buddies. Hardest thing I ever did. Actually, the hardest thing I ever did was staying out at the bars till 2 in the morning that night and then waking up at 7 to come back. A little easier when I was in my 20s. Hi. Hello. Hi. There's the pyramid. I know somebody that skied that. Actually, he skied all 54 peaks, 14,000 foot peaks within 363 days. Hiked up them and skied them. There's a movie about it, Ski the 14ers. I heard this area right here used to be the old county dump. So buried under here is years of garbage. I think today, since I climbed up 2 mountains yesterday, oh, there's a biker coming down. Instead of going up Buttermilk there, probably just ride to the base of Aspen Highlands. Just wanted to get out of work and get a little exercise. This was all part of that ranch. Now it's the rec center and then the school campus. There's still like a lot of open space back there where you cross country ski. Like around here, when they develop stuff, they don't just put a house on every square inch. They have to have a lot of open space along it. And then a lot of it is turned over to the open space board. Hi. Big hill. Believe it or not, this is artificial turf. And this is called the Moore Ball Field. Their ranch went from like Aspen Mountain all the way over there, all the way to the Highlands. So when they gave up that 80 acres I just rode across, it was like good riddance. No more, save $6 a year on their taxes. Property around here wasn't always expensive. When I moved here, the most expensive house was maybe $400,000. Back in the 60s, they were $5,000. Back in the 50s, they were $500. And one of the houses I lived in back in the 40s, it sold for $50. Skiing started in the mid-30s, and then they all had to go to war. And the skiers were the ones that actually won World War II for us. When they all came back, they opened about every ski area in the United States. 10th Mountain Division. Aspen opened in the winter of 46-47. Some of the old timers tell me back then, like nowadays we look for untracked snow. Back then the snow was so deep and the skis really sucked that they would look for where tracks were so they could. Ooh. This bridge is like 200 feet over the creek. It's pretty cool. This road right here, Maroon Creek Road, goes to the Maroon Bells, the most photographed peaks in North America. You got the Maroon Bells and Pyramid Peak, 314ers right at the end of this road. We've lost several hikers this year up there. 2 of them fell 1,000 feet off the side to their deaths. Different times this summer. Last one about a month ago. We call them the Deadly Bells. The deadly bells ring again. This is the base of Aspen Highlands. When I first came here, I couldn't afford the season pass I'm talking the mid-80s. I couldn't afford the season pass at the Aspen Ski Company Hills. This is now part of the Aspen Ski Company Hills. Whew. Hey, but the pass was $160 for the season. Now it's $1,100 for the season, but it includes 4 ski areas and 5,500 acres. Snowmass, Aspen Highlands, Buttermilk, and Aspen Mountain. This mountain now has the Highlands Bowl, which is like the steepest, gnarliest bowl in North America. 2,200 vertical. Back in the mid-70s, they used to fly helicopters from down here and take people up there. And then in '83, right before I got here, 3 patrollers died in an avalanche. And they closed the bowl for 20 years. Then they started opening it little by little. Now it's open all the way across. You have to hike about 45 minutes to the top at 12,510 feet. This is off season, so this is a ghost town right now. You should see in the winter it's packed. And in the spring, after, there's like bands over here, DJs over here. Oh, they got the snow machines out, ready to go. All right. About 6 weeks. Actually, this place doesn't open until December 10th. So it's 2 months away. November, yeah, December 10th. They got it all mowed real nice. They mow everything so that it doesn't take as much snow. They got the snow machines ready to blow as soon as it starts getting really cold at night. It actually is really cold at night. It's just that in the day, like you can see, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. Looks like some snow melt failed. Dig it up, put some new pipes in. Everything new now. There's pipes under it so that they can melt the snow off. Aspen's 3 miles from here, but it's pretty much all downhill. Fall, I like to bike so much that I get sick of it and I'm ready for skiing. And in the spring, I like to ski so much that I get sick of it that I'm ready for biking. I actually ride all winter long, but I just use the bike so I don't have to drive around and start the car up. Got a 30-year-old Trek mountain bike. It's top of the line back in the early 80s. I would never take it off-road now. This thing weighs less. It's got 6 inches of travel on the front and on the rear. .2 miles. This is the school campus. We've got college, preschool, elementary, middle, high school. All in one campus. See, there's more ball fields over here. All part of the old Moore Ranch. Football. Looks like Pee Wee football, middle school. I took the dirt single track on the way up here. I'm taking the pavement on the way back. A lot quicker coming back, especially on the pavement. We will cut through the more old single track over here. You can take the bike path all the way in, but this bike loves the dirt. Community garden there. People wait in line to get their name on the list where they can have their own little plot, since most of us live in condominiums. This is where we started this video a long time ago. I know it's going to be a long one, but biking season's almost over. And I am approved on YouTube for super long vids. On your left. Plant some wildflower seeds. That's nice of them. We have a lot of nice people around here. It must be the Johnny Appleseed of wildflowers. old railroad line called the Midland. Still some history left of it. There was a bunch of old mines here on the right. Little Cloud was a mine. This was a mining town until white gold was discovered. That's snow. People sliding down the mountain on snow. That's what built these monster homes. That's no less than $10 million for that little place. That was like 6. That's the Ajax Trail those people are doing. I ride that sometimes. It goes across Aspen Mountain and then I come down this way. There's a good looking lad. Hey girl. Oh, it's a boy. Now we're back in town. See if he's still sleeping. Good thing it's off season and there's no cars around. Let's go catch Benny the Blade. Benny the Blade. Hey, there's a bear in the tree up here. Yep, he's still got a crowd. He's just so sweet.
Isn't he sweet? Don't you want to just snuggle?
Sure. Till he rips your throat out. October 12th, 2012, Aspen, Colorado.